Good evening and thank you. So, as usual, my topic is quest for water. And first thing is I say bottle of water always kept in the front. However, again, one good thing it is quest for clean water. So there are a lot of difference. Quest for water is different and quest for clean water is totally different. So what are we doing in Mars? Spend 300 crores, send a satellite up there and search for what? Send for moon and then search for? So one of the most primary things, spending 300, 800 crores, what we do is quest for water. Right thing are we doing? So much of water is there here itself. So go and search it in Mars. Why? So I see a lot of pharmaceutical students and other students over here. So should be knowing why are we going and searching that up there in Mars and not when we have so much over here. So remember one thing, without water nothing exists. For us, at least as of we know what we know life as, without water life also doesn't exist. That's why we go and first search water. If at all if there is water, maybe there is some amount of bacteria or something and other things, is what the present scientific field is searching around. Yeah, you can tell me inside the lava also there is bacteria and that they also survive over there. But again they tell that also there is some amount of water, that's the reason they survive over there. So with all the theory that we have around what is water is all about, how many of you people are from Bangalore? Most of you stay in Bangalore only, right? So how many are drinking Kaveri water? Kaveri water? Oh, quite a big population is drinking Kaveri water. How clean is Kaveri water? No, there is two things. Clean is something else and pure is something else. How clean is Kaveri water or pure is Kaveri water? How many of you really think that Kaveri water what we are drinking is very good and very clean? No. That's the reason everybody's house has got an RO. Practically, right? Most of us have an RO at home so that we are not sure the water that I am drinking is good, clean or not. So we have an RO or we are here also. So either or else what we do? What we get? Bottled water. Either in this format or in any other format. So by doing this, what have we done? So some of them, if they would have heard me before, and just now doctor also finished us this thing, that we have something known as DNA, right? And our DNA gets altered. As you get a lot of things, our DNA gets altered. One of the alteration of ours, especially Indians, has happened in 700 years, is known as slavery. Somebody comes and tells us something about water, that this water is not a clean water, don't drink it, and we simply take it because that has come from a source who has been ruling us. Simply listen to that. There is no question asked, there is no theory asked, whether is it scientific, not scientific. One of the examples, for me one of the things I was trying to do here is that I am not going to talk about what I know as knowledge. Knowledge, we all have a lot. I want to speak my experience, the experience that we go through. Was involved in an experiment where many cities of Karnataka were supposed to be testing the groundwater and telling whether it is good to drink or not, where arsenic or chloride and fluorosis or fluorides or not fluorosis, fluoride were high in water. Experiment was done. RO was suggested that here we should put certain kind of machinery RO to give good clean drinking water or pure water to the villages and the citizens. Experiment over, 5 crores was given by the company to do the experiment. After the experiment, the company, the particular university went back, not company, university. University went back. Then comes the next story. Then university comes back to the government and tells you are such a big problem. Now let us see to it that we do give good, pure drinking water to the citizens. And where were this? They suggested RO and their company came and sold. They did with us only. They did an experiment of 5 crore and they came and did installation of ROs worth 500 crore. And And where did they do the installation? In the place where we had problem? No, in Bangalore. Where we never had a problem. The water was good. The groundwater also did not have any big problem. What we wanted was just a pathogen remover. And instead of that, what we did, we installed pure drinking water all over all the wards. Some of the wards have got 2 to 3 ones. And we think that is a good pure drinking water, and we keep on doing it where the membrane has not been changed for the past 1.5 years. Which doesn't work. So quest for clean water, has it become a total slavery business? Where big companies are simply taking over the resources, which is a natural resource. How many of you think that you have a right for water? How much? At least a 10 liters you drink. That you drink. Not 10 liters. Nobody drinks 10 liters. 3 liters that you drink every day should be provided to you. You think it's a right or it is no. Water is not like that. It has to come as a commodity. Only then I have a right. So I will keep on paying for this water. Were we doing this one before? We used to never do this before. Now all of a sudden we are seeing bottled water in India was never even heard 20 years back. And today this has become a norm. Anywhere I go, I am also handed over a bottle of water, which simply contains nothing less than, I think so many would have read in newspapers, many would have, I don't know how many would have done that one. Please go through. It contains nothing less than 200 to 300, less than, much more than 2,000 to 3,000 microplastic fibers. Every one, including Bisleri, including Kinley, including everything was found. It has got, you can go into the newspapers and look for microplastic fibers and you will find all this kind of things, including bottled water. So where have we landed up? Now you will ask me, how did the microfiber first of all come and enter inside? So today I am also wearing one. This is nothing but polyester. So polyester is nothing but again plastic. So once I wash it, nothing less than 3,000 to 8,000 microfibers come out of this. Every wash, whatever I do. And we do the wash and it goes into the water. And these are so small that there is no technology that is trying to take it out. Unless until what we have seen is in some of the deep borewells only we are seeing it is not there. All others, yeah, rainwater is one more thing, luckily it is not there. Or else clean water. Now how were we simply mesmerized into this particular concept that we need to drink bottled water and pay for that also? Where does this water come from? It comes from your own area. It doesn't come from somewhere else. They take it from your own place, package it, which is going to cost them nothing. The same water, the pumping, whatever RO or whatever you are trying to do, end of the day, it costs, with the bottling, it doesn't cost more than 1 rupee 50 paisa to 2 rupees. And end of the day, it is sold to us in this kind of form. So the misconception that clean water means only bottled water, let me guarantee to you that this itself has got so much of microfibers of plastic, which obviously nobody knows how cancer comes. So obviously I will term that most of the cancer is coming only because of this. Yeah, until now whatever science we know, nobody has pinpointed this is the reason that the cancer is coming. So everybody, cancer has become a kind of a thing that for everything, this thing. So much of body, so much of plastic if we are, taking in every day, microplastics and nanoplastics we are taking in every day, obviously they are going to affect our health somewhere or other. So let me stop this one here because this particular thing of clean water, pure water, of this particular thing. But at the same time, I want to go back that how we used to manage. This quest for clean water doesn't stop only with water becoming privatized. It has to go further. That yes, if I want water, which is the most basic primordial thing that I need to find even life. Even my generation of cells is dependent upon this water. Then how will I get this water? Because everybody knows fresh water, forget clean water, that will speak later. Fresh water itself is so less. We can talk about, okay, as citizen of Bangalore, we have all the rights, we will bring water from Kaveri, we will bring water from Linganmakki. Forget everything else, now the proposal has already come in, we will bring water from sea. That is from Mangalore, we can pump up and bring it till here. Forget about the ecological damage and other things that it may cause by the piping and other things. That's a totally different issue. But even to do this activity, let me tell you, Bangaloreans with the GDP that they create for the state of Karnataka, they will do that because they need their GDP. Because they are the most 60% of the GDP of Karnataka is produced from Bangalore. So they can't help it. Whatever Bangaloreans ask, you will get it. There is no second thought on that one. But how proud are we about being Bangaloreans that we are going to take water which is meant for Mandya farmers and we bring it here. And tomorrow we are going to bring a Linganmakki and starve few more farmers over there for their livelihood. Or else bring it from Mangalore and see to it that if you are doing this, everybody knows desalination in Turkey and Saudi Arabia where they have landed up. In spite of that, we are also going to do the same mistake again. So this is what is the cost at which we are trying to bring this clean water to our doorstep. That is the question that we have to ask for ourselves. Because if we want to live as a proud citizen of any state or a city or a village, few things are very, very important. That self-sustainability and security of certain things. One is food, another is water. And if you are not taking care of this one, then that pride of how much ever money you have this thing, that means you are totally dependent upon. Today Bangalore is totally dependent upon the biodiversity of Coorg to give its water. The biodiversity of Coorg who goes for a toss, Bangalore citizens can sit and cry over here because even that water will not come here. That already is happening and we know that what is the effect of that one. We will keep on fighting even though we have increased by 4 TMC, but still it will not happen. So to do all this, like everybody asks me that okay, now we are talking about all these things, how do we go about doing all these things? We will need a lot of money to do all these things, right? No. Again another misconception that if we want to fight for anything, we need a lot of money. So one of the things we started in 2011 was Friends of Lakes. And this Friends of Lakes is not at all registered body. It is not even registered, we don't take any money, there is no bank account, nothing. But today they are in 22 lakes. 22 lakes with 3,000 volunteers and everything else. And the biggest group in India for fighting to preserve the lakes, which are where once upon a time the source of water for the city of Bangalore. Then later on even one of the other source also we tapped was Hesaraghatta Lake, then we tapped another source that was Teppagonni Lake, then later on we went and started bringing it from Kaveri. So but still our sustenance was on these lakes. We had 1,000 lakes in Bangalore and today we have narrowed down to 98 lakes from 1,000. So that's why Kempegowda was known as the Savara Keregala Sardar. That means he had 1,000 lakes. It was not a thing given without this thing. He had 1,000 lakes within Bangalore city and it was built like that. We have seen to it that the whole thing is messed up. But still we have to save these lakes. So are lakes and other things source of water? Yes. If you go and see, only 40% of the city is being supplied water by BWSSB. Remaining 60% of the city gets water from groundwater. So the quest, see, I am not going to go the quest for the whole of universe or the whole of the country or something like that. I want to really concentrate for Bangalore because Bangalore is told to be the next Cape Town wherein we will be getting. So all these new stories are coming up. So one of the things that we want to, okay, I may exceed my time, so you have to tell me. 2 minutes. Okay. So one of the things that now presently, to see to it that we will never become a Cape Town. There is no need of this fear anymore. So do we need big money for that one? No. Even that one also, one of the simplest things. Our rainfall in Bangalore city is 600 to 900 mm. if this rainfall is captured or taken into either into the, see, lakes cannot take up all the rainwater, it can take up max to max 200 mm to max 150 to 200, remaining water is just going to flow. We don't have that capacity. But at the same time, if you are going to dig a recharge well and push that water down into the shallow aquifer, if anybody goes to Kaban Park, please see there are 7 open wells. And this is one community known as Manvodur community or the Bovi Jananga community, Bovi community, which has been sustaining the water table of Bangalore, and the Bangalore's water security was with this community of people. Today this community, practically we have seen to it that their knowledge about water, their knowledge about all the things is erased. And all these things is happening because, like sir had told, if you can borrow from sir, that few people want to hold on to certain things, and water being used as a whip by the political mass is very evident. If you don't give me vote, tomorrow there are chances you may not even start getting water also. And it has been used not once, many a times. So how badly are we becoming slaves of certain things, and water, a very, very essential commodity, is being used like that, has to be turned around. And the turning around can happen if as much as possible of water can be pushed back into the shallow aquifer, have open wells where the Bovi Jananga knows how to do it. They are the traditional water savers of the country. They have been digging wells all over, and for centuries after centuries they have maintained it, but we do not even recognize them also. And their knowledge. So one of the things is to preserve that knowledge, plus to see to it that, because this water, what I am talking about, is pretty clean water. It is not something that is now going to be heavily contaminated with so much of this thing what the bottled water is containing now. Even though whatever they are trying to do, I'll tell you why the microfibers are getting more into that one with scientific this thing. It is already being established, not from one university, many universities and labs. But what I am trying to tell you is that good clean water is possible. The quest is possible only if we look at certain tradition of ours, remember those traditions, because we have a very bad habit. To look progressive and to look liberal, we have started throwing out the baby with the bathtub. Yeah, I know the bathtub is bad, we have to throw it out, but don't throw the baby also with that. So there are certain traditions which had maintained for centuries, they had maintained certain things, which includes our own seeds. Today seed companies are simply grabbing up the whole thing. Our own water. This water simply cannot become property of few people, but is commons and needs to be for the common people. And if that has to be done, more water has to go back to the shallow aquifer. If you want, you can really go to Kaban Park and see the 7 traditional open wells that are there, and which we have just regenerated few days back. That is the proof of concept that there is shallow aquifer water, and that water can be used, and Bangalore need not have to become the next Cape Town. It need not have to be in next 5 years. So one of the campaigns we have started is the Million Recharge Well campaign. The Million Recharge Well campaign is to have million recharge wells, either institutions or parks or roadside or individual houses. Because even individual houses, they are responsible. If I am bringing 135 liters, let me put back into the earth something. If she is thirsty, she is not going to give water. You need to put back the water that you are utilizing. So this is through rainwater harvesting. Get it down. Why we are telling wells is because we get it a little bit deeper, it goes inside and it stays there. So at least a 15-20 feet wells, small 1 feet or 2 feet or 2 feet wells is more than enough. That much space is what is needed, and getting this into the ground is the most important thing. And 1 million well is more than enough for Bangalore to have the kind of water, groundwater recharge. Maybe we don't even have to depend upon Kaveri or any others to give us the water, because that much of rainfall is there in our this thing for the past 100 years. Thank you.